Rare used to be a powerhouse developer back in the day. They had those really fun Donkey Kong Country games, you had the really good Super Mario 64 clones on the N64, along with the perfection known as GoldenEye 007, and Perfect Dark, because I like that game too. And when it came to NES games, they're pretty well known for pushing out games that punished anyone that attempted to play them. Battletoads, Cobra Triangle, Snake Rattle and Roll, and this week's review, Time Lord. When it came to Rare's NES library, they were extremely hit or miss. In my opinion, Time Lord is somewhere in the middle of their good and awful games. I had my enjoyment with it, but there are a few faults that really seem to diminish the entire experience. First off, the story. There really doesn't seem to be much in-game, so I'm just going to say it as I know it. You play as some dude named the Time Lord, who has to travel through different time zones, picking up 5 orbs in each. Once you grab them all, you warp to the next area. Why are you hunting these orbs? Well, from what I can gather, some evil presence is threatening the universe, and all of these orbs must have some sort of power that gives the Time Lord some sort of ability at... You know what? Fuck it. I really don't know. I don't have the manual. All the game tells you at the start is that there's alien life forms that are changing Earth's history. Why these orbs have something to do with it, I don't know. In addition, there's an overall game timer. When playing the game, you'll see a date in the middle of the status bar. From what I've read, if this reaches December 31st of 2999, the game is over. So overall, you have a year to complete the game. Too bad this doesn't really equate into a year of real time. From the few bits of the game I've been able to play, you have ample time to complete each stage. Or do you? I'll get to that. I do want to talk about the physical cartridge quick, or more accurately, the label. I gotta say, this is a pretty cool sticker that they put on there. You have some dude, presumably the Time Lord, in silver armor clutching a sword. And there's a few monsters around him with a clock in the background. It's pretty sweet. But sadly, this Time Lord looks nothing like the actual game's Time Lord, who is actually tall, ripped, and wearing a red muscle shirt. It's slightly different than that armored guy in the cover. Oh well. At its core, Time Lord is a beat 'em up with a small hint of puzzle solving. You run around each stage looking for the large spheres while defeating any enemies that happen to pop up. For every level after the first, you have to face a boss in order to grab that 5th and final orb. Once you obtain all orbs, you immediately warp away to the next stage. Sadly, this is another game that doesn't feel like replenishing your life bar in between each stage is a good idea. And it's a shame, because this game can be brutal in the difficulty aspect. It's not so much the main stages, but more so the bosses. Again, I'll get there shortly. So each stage has 5 orbs, I've already mentioned that. Some of the orbs seem to be persistent, showing in the specified area each time, but others seem to be rotated. For example, in the second level, the orb might show up on these pillars, but the first time it didn't, I was confused. It wasn't until I looked around that I found it up here. How do you reach it? You just keep jump kicking, and some magical force will get you up there. There's another orb that's floating way out of reach, but if you stand directly under it, it'll slowly drop within grabbing distance. This is what I meant about puzzle solving. There's not a lot, but you'd be required to search the stages in order to find all the orbs. And if it's out of reach, you have to figure out how to change that. You can punch your enemies by default, but starting in the second stage, you can find weaponry that will assist you in your task. The second level gives you a sword, which is a bit slower than your standard punch, but gives you a much longer range. It also seems to hit higher than your character, so you can take care of those constant bombs that are being flung at you. In the third stage, you can find 2 different types of guns. One is a quicker but weaker shot, and the other looks to be stronger, but fires slower. That's about as far as I got when it came to weapons. So, why did I not get too far? Well, the bosses. It's not too often that I get so frustrated with bosses that they alone make me want to quit playing. The first boss is a dragon that looks predictable, but it's hard to judge where you can stand without being hurt. The hitboxes seem very questionable, and it's best to know that if you're going to take damage, get hit by one of its fireballs, as they'll do much less damage. Simply touch the dragon and say goodbye to half of your health bar. And it's not easy to dodge, not to mention it takes a ton of hits before flatlining. But if you think that's bad, just wait till you hit the third stage. This bastard wearing a sombrero just doesn't die. Unlike the dragon, physically touching him does much less damage than the bullets he fires. Again, his pattern is predictable, but look how many bullets I'm pumping into him! Look at this! I'm gonna speed this up and show you how long it took me. I eventually said fuck it and got more aggressive, and somehow I defeated him, but look how much time elapsed! Was I doing something wrong here? I don't think so. This, in my honest but worthless opinion, is just plain bullshit. It should not take this long to kill a boss. Maybe a final boss, but not a boss for stage frickin' 3. Bullshit. Oh, and if you do manage to lose all of your lives, which you probably will, it's back to the title screen with you. No continues, no passwords, nothing. I can only get my ass handed to me by that dragon and sombrero fuck so many times before I give up. I managed to make it to level 4 once, and it looks like it takes place on a ship, with crabs that can't be even stabbed or punched. I think I hopped on one Mario style, so I don't know, maybe this will be the Super Mario time zone. But when dying here, I said screw it, I'm done. I did not want to fight that pistol-wielding boss again. In the audio-visual department, the game does a fair job. The music is typical rare NES stuff, which I've always enjoyed. Graphically, things are pretty detailed. The game uses a large font when giving the level briefing, and the status bar has a unique font, not the standard NES one. Those kinds of small details always impressed me. I don't know why. I will say that my game did glitch up a few times, but it could have as easily just have been my game. I cleaned it, and that seemed to work fine. Just wanted to mention it, just for the hell of it. And that's Time Lord for you. I'm on the fence on whether I would recommend this one or not. It's a fun game at first, but those boss fights... Man, bosses should not take that many hits. But if you don't mind a challenge, give it a shot. It's still a fairly good game regardless, and not one you hear a lot about. So if you do play it, be prepared for some entertainment, but also some anger. Oh, and if you know of an easier way to kill that damn third stage boss, let me know. Because I'd totally pick this game up again to try getting further if I wasn't going to waste 5 damn minutes fighting one boss. Fucker. Final score? 7 out of 10. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.